Okay, I think it is now time to go to the back. The camera, oh wow, that's cool. The camera isn't going to point back there, I don't think, so we're all just going to have to get up and go back there. Thank you.
Lights up, and I'm going to watch it, and if it makes any mistakes, I will be able to frown first. So it sees it's centered, and now it hits the intersection that says all right, so it turns to the right. I've never sped it up yet, but it's continuously censoring on the line as it moves along. And on this junction, in the coding on the display, it should say all to the left, so it did. So it's pretty simplistic, but it can still fail.
For those IR sensors?
And so they're little IR sensors, and there's 7 of them weighted towards the center, and a little M0 processor subsystem on it talks in serial to the main unit. So yes, you can make things far more complicated than they need to be. So there it said center, it's going to go straight. Here it's going to hit a dead end. And its algorithm for, uh-oh, it's got trouble. No, well, it may or may not recover, but the problem here is it should have done a 180 and then kept going straight. And so now it's doing a search, and it keeps bypassing and going too far. But with a little bit of luck, no, I don't think it's going to make it because it's already gotten lost. So
it's found the big one.
No, but see, if you'll allow me to try it once more, I'd rather do that because once it didn't make the U-turn there, I knew it was over with. I did it on about 6 different mazes at home already. And of course, it's not going to work, you know, when you get to the actual light.
If you want to borrow tiles to test your robots, you can come see me and we can work it out.
Yeah, I actually got this same tape. Ralph, the other Ralph, Hips told me where to get this tape.
Okay.
And I got this kind of tape and lay it out on a whiteboard in the back. It may have had trouble detecting that end of that. Basically, the dead end it had trouble with, so that's too bad. It's got a lot of neat technology that can break, though.
What about the map code?
Yeah, so the map code actually, I did a little differently. Ralph was generous enough to get me some map code, but I decided I don't want to take track of the wheels and how far they've gone. So I wrote map code that just deals with what junctions it saw, and then after it's all done, if it is all done, if it gets past this U-turn, it'll go through and look at each junction and say, all right, is it a dead end at the end? And it'll recursively remove all the dead ends and then just take the turns that it needs to take. Oh, come on! Okay, that's unfortunate. That's what I used to say when my kids grew up. In high school, I used to say other things. But it looks like it's not going to make it because it should have just done the U-turn.
You should have just like pivoted and.
It's repeatable.
Yeah. So you have the arrow's repeatable.
That's too bad. I don't know if I want to bore you again unless there's no one else. Yeah, well, actually I had FiddlerBot, which was set up to do all 3 phases of the TableBot challenge, and I lost my webcam today. No time to replace it, so today's a kind of a failure day.
Character building.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I hope so.
Try turning off the lights. Maybe they're a different spectrum.
Yeah.
We met at the...
Well, I tell you what, we'll give it one last try because there doesn't seem to be anybody else running up here just yet. But I think because it's repeated, something about the distance to that last U-turn or something.
Lights are CFLs. It is confirmed.
And
Thanks, Tony.
don't go near, don't cast a shadow or anything on that when it gets to, yes. Everybody silent.
Maybe it'll work better if you cast a shadow.
Yeah, maybe it will, but I have a feeling it's already failed twice, so for whatever reason, it doesn't like that particular dead end.
If you need to sneeze, go to the next room.
Just remove the corner, you know. Just
Well, that's, yeah,
It is casting a
it would have been
pretty
fun,
dark
but
shadow.
whatever.
See, the light is casting a pretty dark shadow of one of your sensors.
Yeah, so they're on the bottom and they're IR and they're straight down and they're put a little ways in from the board to try to avoid interference. So no shadows. Or it could be slipping actually, because if it slips at all, yes, it's not. I think what's happening is it thought it was straight, but it hadn't really turned all the way, and so then it started searching for the line. And no show today, folks. Sorry about that. But it's real cute if you want to come and take a look at it. It's got all kinds of fun stuff. So this is the board. This is my board that I made with the line sensors and the M0 processor and all that sort of stuff. It's a little subsystem that you can adapt to some other things by putting it on there.
So are you illuminating it, or are you depending on?
Yeah, it's little IR sensors on the bottom. Each one has its own. And then this microprocessor, which is about less than a quarter-inch square, is turning on the sensors and measuring and turning off, etc.
What? Can you just start right from there? To see if it is going this way, the problem.
Facing this way.
Oh, if you so desire. But I don't want to
Facing
take
this
anybody's
way. No,
time.
no, facing this way.
start from the
So
dead
avoid
end.
the turn.
As if it had already done the 180.
Avoid the turn, yeah.
Oh.
As if it had already done the 180
If I
successfully.
make it face, you mean right there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's no fun because it's well, okay, I'll do it if you want.
Just go.
So if it had got that corner right, it would have worked.
It's not, yeah, maybe that's it. I'll do it for those who have wagered. I'm going to look at the wheels here because I think it's see now.
There you go.
I think it's.
There you go.
It's tired.
Now, man. That's solid gold.
I think it got tired from the
Well, at least because it's on the home stretch, it can't do a maze solve because there's nothing to solve because all the turns were the correct, right? But you will get to see the victory dance. Yay! Now,
That was a discontinuous approximation to a solution.
now it's saying it solves the maze. So this time it's actually not going to make decisions. This time it's going to hit the junction and it knows which way it wants to turn.
It started over here facing that
Did you
way.
actually take your random test vector out of
But
that?
anyway, so be it. That's,
Does anyone else have a robot that wants to attempt the maze? Does anyone else have a robot that they want to run the maze?
I mean, this is kind of
Going
although
once?
it's quite possible that it's got a low battery.
I'll do an encore run for my own.
It's possible that the battery's actually just low is the issue because I did run it.
It's always the battery.
That's the standard excuse.
So I've run this before. It's it takes a random turn at any intersection where it's got a choice.
Oh my gosh.
Once it's the little green light means it hasn't explored the whole maze, so it thinks there's more to see. So I'll tell it to go ahead and explore some more. So now it'll take a path that it hasn't taken before. And if it comes back to a place it's been to before, it zips over to the next place that it hasn't explored. And it tries to go a little faster if it knows where it's going.
What kind of sensors are you using?
So these are just Pololu infrared distance. yellow light's blinking fast, which means it knows the map. So now it'll go as fast as it can to the goal. And since there's more than one path,
Could have gone, yeah.
it could have gone this way, but it weights straight lines more than turns. So even though that may have been a shorter route, it took the longer route because it was straighter.
Ralph, are you actually measuring how long the line is, or are you just using the number
Yes.
of turns?
No, I use the odometry to keep track of the distance and build up a map in 1 foot increments. So it does record each intersection and builds a graph. So it's not actually, so like this would just be two vertexes with a adjoining edge and a length between the edges. Yeah.
And full batteries.
And full batteries, yes.
Who else? Does anybody else want to do the line challenge? Yeah? Okay, if somebody's jumping up and down, I don't see you. So we're going to go back up to the front and do the robot dance party.